Welcome to Witch Chat Chats. Come on in and sit for a spell. Sponsored by Evermoving We Rise, Moonlight Potions and Charms, and Saul Ravencraft, the Wizard for Hire. I am your goddess host, Miss Nikki Kirby, and our Wizard for Hire has been hired and he is currently on assignment. So let's get right to the divination, shall we? You know, we always have our divination for the week. So, our divination. Let's see what it is. Let's see. Our divination is always carry food in your pockets. In the event of a tornado or some other natural disaster, the search dogs will always find you first. Very interesting. They will. Very good. I like that. Plus, while you wait, you can be able to eat something. But don't make it M&Ms because despite what they say, M&Ms do not melt in your pocket. They do melt in your pocket. And they do melt in your mouth too, but they taste so good. And then you're going to need water. You may not have water with you, but I do. All right. So before we introduce our mystery guest for the day, let's talk about our topic. So I've decided that we're going to talk about defense, self-defense, and hexing and cursing and all that other good stuff. Oh, we're going to talk about hexing. Let's get down to it. All right. So a lot of people are like, oh my God, we can't do hexing. We can't do cursing. Oh my God. No, we can't do that. Oh, Nikki, no, we can't do that. We can't do that. We can't do that. That can't be done. No, that's scary kind of stuff. Well, you know, here's the thing. You know, I'm going to tell you something. Because people are afraid, oh, it's going to come back on me. You can't do that because of the wick and read. Okay, first of all, let's go ahead and throw that damn read out. All right. The read, which is really based on Christian values. I did say that. Yes, it's based on Christian values. All right. People may not think that because they're Wiccan or they're witches or whatever the freaking hell they are. But it is. It's deep down. It's based on Christian values. Ain't that screwed up, really? Please. Or they may say, oh, it's going to come back to me. It's going to come back to me. It's going to come back to me. Please. Really? It's karma. It's karma. It's going to come back to me because it's karma. Okay, number one, most of Westerners do not understand the true value of karma, as the Indians from India, not Native Americans, okay, from India, explain it to me. And they've tried to explain what actual karma is, and I don't remember. So I'm not going to explain it here. So ask them, okay? Because they say you don't truly understand it. So it's not the way that most people think it is. And besides, I don't believe in karma. I really, truly don't. And I want to say it because of this way. I don't believe in karma because a lot of people who really deserve to get crap sent back to them don't get it. A lot of things that should be, we've got so many crimes out there that need to be resolved and solved, they're not. There's so many criminals out there, the raping, the killing, and stuff like that. They never get what they deserve. I'm sorry. I don't believe in it. I don't see a whole lot of proof. I don't see karma. I just don't. What I see is what you bring back to you. That's what I see. What I see is what magicians do. That brings back to them. That is what I see. Now, when it comes to cursing, I'm sorry. I am going to be the one to do protection for myself. I'm going to do protection for those who are underneath my protection. And if it's a curse, it's a curse. People say, well, I can't even do reversal spells. Oh, please. Bitch, please. Get real. Are you freaking kidding me? You know, it's about like saying, I'm going to sit here and allow you to punch me in the nose and keep punching me in the nose and keep punching me in the nose until you break my nose and go through my nose and get into my brain and just kill me. That's basically what you're saying. All because you're scared of some damn thing called karma. And you don't want it to come back on you. Well, guess what? That first punch in your nose, there's your karma. Right there it is. That second punch in your nose, there's karma again. Bam, smacking you in the face because you didn't learn from the first karma. That third punch in your nose, bam, that's karma again. It's coming right back at you. It keeps smacking you in the face. All because you won't do what you need to do. And everybody says, well, if you haven't put up your wards, you could avoid that first karma. Not always. It's not always like that. And it's not always necessary to send back the same energies to the person that they sent to you. It's not always like that. So let's get down to the actual cursing. Why do we do the cursing? Cursing can be done for revenge. Yeah. Okay, we can do it for revenge. Revenge can be a little bit of satisfaction. Yeah, I can see that. I can also see cursing being done as a protection thing. For example, I had a client who needed to have her family to shut up gossiping about this client. And it's because this family kept putting this client down and would not shut up about this client. And it was affecting this client's mental health. It's affecting this client's reputation. The client could not function, period, because of this. So what did I do for the client? I did a shut up candle or a stop gossip candle. Yes, it was a black candle. Woo, it was a black candle. It was a curse candle. Woo. And what did it do? It burned all the way down. Woohoo. Good burn. And what happened? They left her alone. Oh my God. They left her alone. Woo. And they haven't messed with her. Oh my God. No karma. Nothing negative is coming back to her. Ew. Really? Now, if somebody has supposedly cursed or hexed you, 9 times out of 10, you probably curse or hex your damn self, and you just are too stupid, or you're just too dumb, or you're just too proud to actually realize you have cursed or hexed your own self. Okay? Because most of the time you sit there and you've done a spell and then you say, oh, I don't think I've done that spell right. Or, oh, did that spell actually go through? Maybe I ought to do this or this or that. Really? You just doubted yourself. You just told the universe, I am not that confident in my spell work. So please go screw with my spell. That's what you just told them. Like, really? So instead of sending that negative energy, if somebody did send it to you, okay, let's just say somebody did. Let's say Jack sent some negative energy to Jill and decided to really screw with her life because he was jealous that she said, screw you, Jack. I'm going to go and do my thing. Screw you. And he decided to curse her because she's never coming back to him. Well, I'll turn around and tell him to kiss my ass too. So she decides to go do her thing. Well, instead of sending that negative energy back to him, she says, okay, we're just going to do what Miss Dorothy Morrison would say. Let's swip the energies. I love Dorothy. She is awesome. I tell you, she is awesome. And you really need to go get her book, Utterly Wicked. It is one of the best books and should be in every single person's little library, little magical library. Because it is absolutely awesome. Awesome. Love my book. That's my favorite book of Dorothy's. And there's a spell in there called Swifting the Energies, and she's actually talked about it on WeChat Chats. And basically what you're doing is you're taking that negative energy and you're swishing it into positive energy and you're using it, guess what, for yourself. You're not giving it back to them. Screw that. Why would you want to give them more energy? Hell with that. Take that negative energy, use it for you. Switch it to positive and use it for yourself. Because the best revenge is success. I'm going to say it again. The best revenge is success. We're going to say it one more time. The best revenge is success. And if I have to do a shut the hell up candle to get my revenge so I can be successful, you're damn right. I'm going to do it. I'm going to get you to shut the hell up about saying negative things about me so I can be successful. And there you go. Shut the hell up. And that way, that is a protective measure. So cursing or hexing or whatever the hell you want to call it can be a protective measure. And doesn't always have to be, ooh, it's going to be spooky, or ooh, karma's going to get me. And I'm sorry, quit limiting yourself to that damn read. All right? The read is supposed to be for Wiccans. My advice, throw the damn thing out. All you're doing is limiting yourself. That's it. You're limiting yourself to a bunch of damn rules that, number one, limits your power. It limits your mind. Stop it. Stop limiting yourself. Damn, stop doing that. Because when you limit yourself, you're limiting your magic, you're limiting your potential, you're limiting your imagination, you're putting yourself in a freaking damn cage. Stop doing that bullshit. because we are the ones that are outside of our cages. We are the ones that change the world. Just imagine if we all got outside of our cages and we all had unlimited potential, if we all had access to that unlimited potential and we all actually used it. What can we do with this world? Just imagine that. Imagine how this world would be if we all did that. Just think about it for a moment. Will we be where we are now? And think about it. How will we be in the next 10 years? Think about that. How will we be there? In the next 10 years. And all we would have to do is just throw out the limitations and quit going by so many damn rules, so many guidelines. That's all we have to do. That's it. Because just remember, a lot of things that you grew up with, a lot of the ethics that you think that are ethical, they're Christian values. Because most of us grew up with Christian values. Most of us did, because that's the mainstream religion. That's the way we grew up. And do they serve us? If they don't, we need to throw them out. We need to pull those weeds out of our spiritual foundation and go and throw them out. We need to cut and clear them. I mean, April started with April Fool's Day. And we are the fools. And the fools start with cut and clear. And with cut and clear, we have to cut what we no longer need so we can clear for the new, the opportunities that are yet to come. Because spring is here and it's making room for the summer and hopefully for better times and warmer times. Not the heated times. Hopefully it's just a little bit more warmer. Not that blizzarding heat. But at least we can be able to move forward. But if we're constantly fighting over karma, oh Jesus Christ. And whether we should curse or hex and stop talking about all these protections and whether not to protect and, oh, I'm sorry, but I can't do that cursing because, you know, if I do that, it's going to have karma come and bite me. Please. Bitch, please. Really? You got to get over your fears. Let it ride. Let it go. Honey, stand up for who you are. And let the pieces fall. And just deal with it as we go. And as I say, witch up. Or if you're a conjurer, conjure up. Let's get going. All right. And with that, we're going to hear some words from our amazing sponsors, and we'll be right back with Witch Hat Chats.
Anybody can tell you what is on a tarot or oracle card. What matters is seeing beyond what others may not be able to see and help the client to uncover what lies in the mist. What do readings from Moonlight Potions and Charms do?
Wednesday, I did this ancestor reading, and it was an amazing reading. And it was a detailed reading. And I remember talking to this customer's ancestors, and it was so delightful. And he wanted some questions to be answered about the magic in his family because he didn't know. And his family was mostly like most of our families are. You know how everything is like hush hush when it comes to the magic in his family. And he wanted to know who can he actually talk to about the history of the magic in his family. And I was able to give him specifically who he can go to talk to about that. What particular deity he can actually go to be able to help him with this. And it was just an amazing reading, and talking to his ancestors, they were such a delight, and they told me so much about this customer. It was just an absolutely wonderful reading for him, and I was just so happy to be able to give him this wonderful reading. It's really amazing to be able to give people these readings, these products that's really going to help them, and be able to give back to the community, because this is what Moonlight Potions and Charms is about. We want to help you to embrace the power of your own magic. That is what we are all about. It's to help you to do that.
Book now and allow our wonderful staff to take care of your spiritual reading needs. And there is so much more in our Wicked store to help you to embrace the power of your own magic. So come on in to Moonlight Potions and Charms at www.moonlightpotionscharms.com and discover the wicked things that ignite the magical passion in you.
I'm Saul Ravencraft, co-host of Witch Hat Chats. I understand just how confusing and chaotic it can be to open to a path of magic and manifestation. Everything seems to turn on its head. I want to be an ally as you find the way upon your path. My studio setup will let us do readings, coaching, and exploration virtually, just as though you were sitting across the table from me. One size does not fit all, and we will work together to craft the right approaches to build your practice, your confidence, and your power using the tools of divination, magical works, and spirit connections. It's never too late to embrace a new path and emerge empowered. Go to TexasMojoMan.com and select Contact to begin. There's a message now. Let's get started working on your very good fortune.
Have you wondered what spirituality is? Spirituality is limitless, as it does not contain any boundaries on beliefs or practices. Spirituality's most important component is personal experience and allows one to explore it freely. Evermoving We Rise is a spiritual moving tradition, as our name is our lifestyle, because we are persistently rising and moving forward. We realize that everyone's spiritual journey is extremely personal, but more easily traveled with reinforcement. We'll teach you to become friends with your shadow, emerge your authentic self, and give you time and space to develop your own spirituality. And when situations bump back, you'll have the entire community behind you, as we are a magical family who work to sustain each other, Discover the benefits of working within a society dedicated to helping you grow on your personal path. Visit us on our website, Linktree, or Facebook page and discover why we don't fit in the box.
And welcome back to Witch Hat Chats. And we're going to go ahead and get right to our guest. The International Pagan Music Association announced this guest host as a two-time winner of the Best Male Artist. His mystical guitar style cannot be categorized, as no one can agree to the unique musical style his music belongs to. Not only has he released his own vocal albums, but he has participated in group activism albums, like the Green Album benefiting the Rainforest Trust, and he's in charge of the Woodchoppers Ball benefiting the Cleveland, Ohio homeless. Currently, he is working on the Forevermore, a play with my witch sister, Byron Ballard. You remember her. She is a recurring guest host here on our show. And the Red Album, along with 19 additional bands and musicians to benefit women's reproductive rights. I would like to present Brian Henke. How you doing, Brian?
Doing great. It's 12:30 here in Eastern Standard Time, just about, and I am on my first cup of tea, just waking up. Musician's morning.
Musician's morning. Yes, it is. All right. So you were talking to me about the, what is it? The Wood Choppers Ball that you were doing for what, 22 years?
22 years. It's a benefit for the Northeast Ohio Coalition for the Homeless. We do it in Kent, Ohio, and a really nice old theater there. And I bring in 9 of the best acoustic guitarists in the world, and we raise money for the homeless, and we have an enormous amount of fun. There's 3 of us on stage at a time playing round robin, and you put 3 of the best guitarists in the world together on stage at once, each playing a song till everybody's played a total of 4. What you get is everybody playing at their best, their very best songs. So it's a real treat for the audience because they get to see a guitar being played at a skill level they're just not used to, and we have fun, so much fun doing it. There's a lot of laughter, a lot of impromptu kind of jams sometimes that will just rip the roof off the place. You just never know what to expect. And this 22 years of this, and it's still going strong.
That is really, really great because like I was telling you, I used to be homeless, and raising money for the homeless, because the homeless they're the ones that are never really looked after. Most of the time, most people think that you're homeless because you want to be, because you're lazy, you don't want to work, and that's not always the case. Most of the time, a lot of these people are working, but they don't make enough money to be able to afford housing and food and all this other stuff, especially with all the rents and everything going up and being skyrocketed, in these places. So so thank you for doing this, especially for all of this time. I truly, really, truly appreciate that.
Well, I've never actually been homeless, but I've been close enough. And I live in the Cleveland, Ohio area, and we have some pretty harsh winters here, and the homeless here have it pretty tough. I can't even imagine what they have it like up in Duluth or Minneapolis. I mean, maybe we just have a lot less homeless. I don't know. They moved to San Francisco. It's a little bit warmer. San Francisco would get pretty cold too, especially at night and in the morning. But yeah, it's just something I believe that is the right thing to do, and I get to have fun while I'm doing it. I mean, there's a certain amount of all the organizing and the marketing and all that's work, but it's something that it's part of what my job is promotion, because I have to promote myself to make a living at playing music. And I was just saying the three biggest oxymorons in the universe, they are military intelligence, music business, and pagan organization. Words that don't go together.
Really?
So, music business, and music has nothing to do with business unless you want to get paid for it. And then, you better pay attention to the business stuff.
Right.
And same thing with, pagan, they talk about pagan time all the time. And, you try to turn that, take pagan time and put it in an organization, it doesn't work. That sense of, oh, hey, I was only gone for a moment. No, you were gone for 3 years. You can't organize like that. So you just have to wear different hats at different times, I guess. By the way, your hat is very lovely. It's is that flowers and feathers, growing out of it? All right.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, all this stuff right here took a lifetime of fertilizer to grow. I filled my head full of so much fertilizer when I was a kid. Voila.
I bet.
Yeah, I usually use they say I filled my head up with something that's similar to fertilizer, but they use a 4-letter word for that.
Yeah. So what got you into music?
Music, I think I was just born with it, pretty much. I've always been obsessed by it. Music has always affected me more than just about anybody I know. It's funny because I was asked this question, recently. I didn't come from a musical family. My dad was the only one that was musical, and he sang. He sang in church and would, at the beginning of baseball season, would sing the Star Spangled Banner. And when he was younger, he played with his aunt in things they called box socials. And he played trumpet and sang, and she played guitar. But he quit all that when he got married, and except for the singing. And I'm the only musician in the family, that is out there doing it. I think I've got a cousin that plays some, but I haven't seen him in a few years. So as far as, being a full-time musician, I'm kind of it.
Yeah. It's kind of like me. It seems like I'm the only witch in the family. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
So I hear that you are doing a play with my witch sister?
Byron, yes.
Byron.
A lot of people don't know this about her, but her background is in theater, big time. She's acted, produced, directed, written plays, really super strong background in that. And the premise for the play is a summer theater group putting on Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream. And what happens in the play is the real Puck, Titania, and Oberon intermingle with the cast. And it's like, what could go wrong, And I've been writing music for it for a while now. And there is no deadline as to when this is going to get done. As you know, the Byron is pretty in demand. both as a speaker. I mean, she goes all over the world, it seems. She just got back from Scotland. So hopefully we'll get this done, before we both grow older. And we still have the energy to put it on. But I've been enjoying writing the songs. A few of them will be on my next album, which I'm in the process of recording 2 more vocal albums. I've got 7 instrumental albums out. I'm also going to put another instrumental album out, which will make the 8th. That I hope to have out by next year. I'd love to get these 2 new vocal albums out this year. I was just in Minnesota with Paul Faris at Atchington Learning Center. There's a beautiful nature center up there that he and his wife own. And he's got a world-class recording studio there. And I was just up there a week and a half ago recording. So hoping to get these out this year. I'm also committed now to doing a project with Mariah Dawn Shepherd and the Covert Dragon. This is Paul's idea, Paul Faris. And we're going to write 4 songs each for a total of 12. We've already got a theme. We're going to write about mythical creatures and woodland creatures. And it should be a lot of fun. I've got a few ideas already, and I think she's pretty well on her way to getting her songs written too. It'll be a blast. And we're going to go up there and record that in June. I've got a couple of festivals in Wisconsin back to back with a few days off in between, and I'm going to drive up to Finlayson and record for a few days, then head back. Matter of fact, both festivals are at Eagle Cave, which I've never been there, but everybody tells me it's amazing. It's in southern Wisconsin. I'm going to be playing Chrysalis Moon and then Earth House there. So I've got a pretty busy schedule this year. I'll be at Pagan Unity Festival. Will you be there for Pagan Unity Festival?
No, I won't be there.
Okay.
This year.
Starwood, of course, in July. And then heading up, I'm going to be driving down to, I'll be picking up Byron in North Carolina, and then we're going to drive over to Cauldron Fest in Spencer, Tennessee, and straight from there to Florida Pagan Gathering down in Florida. And then miraculously, I have most of May off, which means I'll be working in the garden and fixing things on the house and of course writing, and recording and getting things ready too. That seems almost like a vacation. And I do this gig where it's a kind of a music therapy gig, where I play twice a week at a hospital in the morning. I have to be up at 8 a.m. to go and drive for an hour to play at Summa Rehab Hospital in Akron, Ohio. I love it though, because I just sit and play in the corner of the rehab gym, the physical therapy gym, and play acoustically instrumental stuff for the folks that are there. And I call it my day job. And I'm real grateful to have it, especially when festival season, isn't happening. We don't do outdoor festivals around here in February. It's just not a very good idea, unless you're, building ice sculptures or something.
Right. So tell us about that Red album. I'm really interested in this one.
I have heard the Red album. Not a lot of people have. Maybe 20 people in the whole world have heard it at this point in time. And it's just incredible. Starts off with a tune by Mama Gina called Revolution, which is just mind-blowing. And then S.J. Tucker does a tune, what's it called? The Devil something or the other. I'm sorry, Suge, I'm messing it up a little. But it's such a good album. It's for women's reproductive rights and their bodily autonomy. It's a strike back at the patriarchy. And it's such a good album. And I'm amazed at how well organized it all is. Everybody's stepping up. Well, except for me, I'm too busy to step and do much with the business. I just added my song. But so many of them have stepped up and are doing business things. Elaine Brown from Crow Women has done a lot, and so is Suge, so is Kiki, and Kira from Spiral Rhythm. I mean, and Alexian, you know, is organizing, doing videos for it. So it's coming along. The due date is June 24th. I think there's quite a few of them that are booked at PSG in June. And of course, June 24th, I will be in Wisconsin. I was wishing I had a clone so I could be there to be with everybody else, but maybe we'll do something next year. There was even some loose talk about a possible Red Album Festival or a concert or something, but I was explaining to them, getting them all in one place at one time is like herding kittens on acid. So I'm not sure that could happen or that I could organize it, but we'll see. We'll see. But some great musicians, like I said, Mama Gina, S.J. Tucker, Celia Ferran, Alexander James Adams, Lou Guru. I think, do you know Lou? He used to live not too far from you.
Mm.
He's out in Arkansas now. Some really, really fabulous musicians on the CD. And I had a song called Like a Bird She Flew that I didn't know what to do with because it was too dark and too sad for me to want to release on one of my own albums. Because it's about suicide and marital rape and really horrible, horrible things to talk about. And it's not something that I would ordinarily include on one of my records. So I didn't know what I was going to do with it. I even considered getting a female to sing it and having somebody else release it. And this album came along and I'm like, oh, this is the perfect place for this song to go. So the song has an outlet. The album is very powerful. You definitely want to get a copy of this. And I wish every conservative politician that, you know, went along with what the Supreme Court did and is still trying to make things even worse for people would be forced to listen to this. Like 24 hours a day, that's all. And maybe make 25 hours a day. Come on, let's really give it to him. It's a brilliant album, and I hope it changes people's hearts and minds. I mean, right now, you know, you and I, when we talk about this, we're preaching to the choir. And it needs to go beyond that. We need to reach out to everybody.
Why don't we send it to
human rights, you know, human freedom. And we can't be making these huge steps backwards in our society.
You know, we could send it to every congressman. There we go.
Yeah.
Send it to every one of them.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of like a spiritual bomb, you know?
Well, you know, it's something that I didn't know about until you told me about it, and I went and done a little bit of research on it, and it's something that I'm really interested in because when Roe versus Wade was overturned, it was something that not only did it really upset me, I heard every single female ancestor that I had, because I told you I'm a medium, they were screaming, literally screaming in pain, and you know, feeling that and feeling my own pain was the feeling. It's just unbearable to be able to talk about it. Plus, I had to fight to be able to get the hysterectomy that I got last year. And I had been in so much pain for over, 30 years that I needed the hysterectomy. It wasn't something that was, you know, taken lightly. And when my surgeon, when she came to me, she's like, Nikki, you were right. You needed this, because it was something that I kept being told it's a female problem. You just need to get used to it, to the pain. And these were male doctors that kept telling me, because
Right.
these were problems in which there was no test that you could look at to be able to. The only thing that you could be able to go to see what the problem was exploratory surgery. That was how you can see it. And when she saw the problem, she's like, I don't know how you walked for all those times. She says, I had no idea how you even walked. She said, I'm so glad I was able to do that, because that was the absolute worst hysterectomy I've ever done in my entire career.
Yeah, I mean, the patriarchy has got to go. It's
Mhm.
really got to go. I'm male. I was born male. I'm happy being male. I mean, I'm very comfortable in my own skin, and I'm grateful that I'm male, because I'm basically lazy, and I wouldn't want to have to deal with all the things that women have to deal with. But I support all my sisters. I love my sisters, and I love women, and they're human beings and should be treated like human beings. There's a whole lot of men out there with little tiny little fingers that want to control women, in everywhere they can, because they can't control them with their little fingers.
Right.
I'm being
Right.
metaphorical right now, not literal.
Well, thank you so much for being on our show. And how can our people reach you?
You can reach out to me through Brian G. Henke on Facebook. There's a Brian Henke site, but it doesn't work. It's finally been being taken down. Brian G. Henke, that's my personal site. I've got 5,000 friends on it, and a couple hundred pending. So getting on as, being able to connect with me as one of my friends on the friends list is difficult, but you can always send me a message, and I'd love to hear from you. And you can listen to almost everything I've recorded at reverbnation.com/Brian Henke, just all as one word, BrianHenke. And you can go on there and you can listen to all this stuff, and it's free. And some of it's even free downloads. I'm surprised more people don't take advantage of it. And of course, right now you can purchase CDs with me through the mail, which I'll mail out, a check or PayPal or something like that. It's fine. I am in between regular websites. My last one, there was a problem with a hosting service or something, and it wasn't working. So I've got to have a new one built, and I have been too busy to work with the web designer to get that done. Maybe I'll add that to the things I can do while I'm goofing off in May, working in the garden. By the way, I just turned over, excuse me, my first section of the garden for some cold weather plants yesterday. I just finished that.
All right. Well, thank you, Brian, for being on the show.
Thanks for having me. I'm glad we were able to make it work time-wise and all that.
All right. So that's all for our show today. Join us next week when I will be chatting with Stephanie Rose Bird. So embrace your power, support your community, and keep your fuzzy babies, your family, friends, and yourself safe, and have an absolute magical week.
I know some people who like to chat. I think they're witches, how about that? And every Sunday at 12 o'clock. And if you're hurting, they're willing to talk. Nikki, Kirby with that black stone. I agree, Evermoving We Rise. Live and soul with a beautiful mind. I give you blessings under moonlight. I know some people who like to chat. Effective witches, how about that? And every Sunday at 12 o'clock. And if you're hurting, they're willing to talk.